All right. So welcome back to the second installment series of How to Arrange a Wonderful World, Part 2, focusing on the bridge in the outro section. So if you haven't seen the first half of this, check the link in the description. It'll take you through the first part of it and how to arrange the first part. So now, we are in this part where, the melody is, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky. It sounds like, kind of like this. To the next part again. So what we have to do here is we have a harmony over a G minor with a C in the bass to a C7 chord to an F, back to a G minor with C in the bass and then to C7. So what I'm going to do here is I need to think about how I can make a G minor chord with C in the bass but have the melody line be a G note. So how I'm opting to play this is I'm going to play this little minor triad. What I'm doing here is I'm on the 8th fret of the D, the 7th fret of the G, and the 8th fret of the B. That is a G minor triad. We have a minor third, a fifth, and a root. But now I need to put C in the bass. Well, evidently, we're right here. So C is right here. So I'm going to just reorganize my fingers a little bit so that I can get this shape, which is a really, really cool shape. So I'm all on the 8th fret here, so nothing on the A string or the high E string, and I'm going to have 8, 8, 7, 8. And that's going to encompass my melody note that I need, which really works itself really well. So here we go. We have this little pickup note with an F. So what I'm thinking about is I could play the F here, or I could play it here. I kind of like it being here. I think this is closer in position, so I'd have from them the colors of the rainbow, and then I have to go to the C7 chord. So I'm going to opt to do this to get that melody line here. So I have G and then C, C. So the colors of the rainbow, which is really, really cool. Now we're going to have this little cool like chromatic line, which I really, really, really like this line a lot. Where's C? I love that line. So cool. So I have to think about how I can get that line on top of playing an F major chord. So it actually works out in this position really well. So I'm going to do this little, basically basing this out of that C chord position again. So I have to get melody note of B flat in there. So I'm going to just kind of opt to do this little bar, and then I'm going to do 2 little fingers here. So it's going to almost sound like a little modern chord because it's going to be sussed out. This is actually what we call a sus4 chord. Because we have the 4th in here, right? Because B flat would be the 4th of C. So this is a F sus4 chord for the time being. And we're going to take that finger off. So in order to keep this chord down, I'm going to opt to grab the G sharp here, which is the 9th fret on the B, and I'm going to go. Sounds a little funny, but that's the melody line. Right? Or you can play it here, which is kind of cool too. It's also the minor third of F, which is kind of cool. It's like you almost got that blue note. It's like a jazz blues kind of thing. Anyway, so from that beginning, you'd have this. So that's going to take care of that. Now when it says, I see friends shaking hands, this is my favorite part of the whole song. We're going to have this little melody line where I'm going to break up the chord. So I'm not going to have a chord over top of this, which I could. I'm going to opt to not play that because I want to get up into this next position. So I need to find a D minor chord with D in the melody line here. So I'm just going to opt for this little half bar here on the 10th fret, kind of base of this whole chord shape. And I need to follow this melody line of A, C, so I can get that D in the top. So I'm going 10 and then 8. episode. Then my next melody note is a C. I'm just going to go to that A minor chord shape, A minor 7 chord that we did earlier. So we're going to go. Right? Super, super, super cool. And then after we get that, we're going to do that one more time. And then it says, they're really saying we need to find an F sharp diminished 7 chord with C in the melody line. Well, right here. Super, super cool. You could play it this way. But I kind of like this higher register since we're already here. So what I'm doing here is sometimes you see it played like this. But this doesn't lend itself to have the fully diminished 7. We need a fully diminished 7 here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a bar on the 8th fret, second finger is going to go on the 9th fret of the A, my third finger is going to jump over to the 10th fret of the B, and then first finger is going to take care of that melody line note. So to that point we would have this effect. They're really saying I love you. So beautiful, right? So after we do that melody note here, we need to go. So, and that's over G minor, 7, F, and C. Well, what I'm doing here in order to get that melody line is I'm playing G minor this way. You could play it this way if you wanted, but I just like this voicing of it because I'm used to playing the jazz voicings. So that would be 10, 8, 10, and 11. That'll get our B flat note, and then we need to play an F chord to get A. Well, we could play this, but since I'm already in this position, I'm just going to opt for a regular F major bar chord on the 8th and 10th fret. So, and then I need to do a C7 with a G in the melody line. There it is, bam. Just playing 6th through 2nd string. So let me play the whole bridge section up until that point, so you'd have this. You're back into the main verse progression, which you're all familiar with this if you watched the first part of the video. So that should take you all the way up to that point, but let's talk about the outro now. So, and then I'll do a whole play along at the very end of it. So now the outro, same exact thing, but now after we get to this F, we're going to have this A minor 7 flat 5 to D7, to G minor 7, then G minor 7 again. Anyway, sorry, get carried away. Such a fun song to play. So, now we have to go to this A minor 7 flat 5 chord, which is really, really, really cool. So if you look on screen and you see the sheet music, we need to get basically an A minor 7 flat 5 with A in the bass. So most of the time you probably see A minor 7 flat 5 like this, maybe like this. This is a chord that we need to get the A in the melody line. So typically you would see it like this, where you would have 5, 5, 5, 4. Well, I'm going to just flip these fingers around so that I get this top melody line here. So I'm going to play it like this. It's basically taking the root and dropping it down here. That'll keep that A melody line going. So we'd have this F with the A in the melody line to A minor 7 flat 5 with A in the melody line. And now we need to think about playing a D7 with A in the melody line. Well, we could play this version of it, which is like our A7 shape up here on 5th position. But I like to opt for this because I'm already in this position, so why do I want to change? I'm trying to economize my moving, so I want to keep my fingers all relatively in the same spot. And this is a really, really good example of voice leading. My fingers just have to move down a little bit. So if you're not familiar with this voicing of a D7 chord, it's going to be starting from the lowest pitches here. We would have major 3rd, 4th fret on D string, 5th fret on G string, 1st finger on B string, and pinky on the high E on the 5th fret, keeping our melody line. So we would have this up to that point. We would have the F major chord, A flat minor 7 flat 5 to D7, right? And now we're going to have this cool little breakup of the melody, right? We're going to have so up to that point now we would have A, and this is all again all over D7. Oh yes, I think to myself, right? So then you could go A, because this is going to happen twice. To B6, B flat 6 to F. So all of that A7. And this is where I kind of end up breaking up the melody line a little bit, where I kind of just play the melody and not necessarily the chords. But you can still add the chords in there. So you're going to go... So I need to get basically like a G minor 9 at this point, because I'm going to get the 9th in here. So I'm playing a full bar at the 3rd fret and using my 4th finger to grab the A. So from here... So now I have to go A, F, G, F, while I'm holding this bar. So I'm going... I guess maybe it'd be better to use your 3rd finger there, so that you can use your 4th finger to grab the F there. Or you could play it, well, it'd be a little more tricky, but... Yeah, it'd be better just to hold your position here like that. That's what I at least have done for that. So I'd have... And then... So now we need to do a B flat 6 chord. You could play it this way. This would get that G melody note. And I'm kind of playing it this way, and I know it doesn't necessarily have the G note in there, but I kind of like it that way. And if you're not a super big fan of that, I mean, I suppose you could play it like this. This is another way to play it. But I kind of like just doing this shape. It's just easier in my opinion. So that should be the entire song and how to kind of arrange for it. So let me play from the beginning here, just so you can hear it all in context. So here from the beginning, from the intro. So F, G minor, add some harmonics in for some cool effect. A7, D minor. Now we have the bridge. To the outro. D minor, D flat, G7, G minor 7, sorry. F, A flat minor 7 flat 5 to D7. Here's where I add a little retardando. So you can obviously get all really, really creative with it and your different embellishments, harmonics, different, lead lines if you wanted. You could go, and then depending on how crazy, you could do all this like crazy intricate stuff, but it's really just about how to arrange on your own to make it your own and kind of be musical with it and just create something really, really, really beautiful. So if you haven't checked out, again, the video of me covering this and arranging it, you should definitely do that. I'll have those all linked in the description. I hope this was a lot of fun, and thanks for sticking around. Alright guys, that was the video lesson. I hope you really liked it. Let me know what other song suggestions you would like to see, or maybe other solo arrangements that you'd like me to break down for you guys. I really like doing this stuff and kind of showing my process about how I arrange for solo guitar. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.